Good morning, YouTube. So today I wanted to give you some tips and show you how you can mouse-proof your camper for less than 25 bucks. And I know this receipt here says $26, but if you take out the Velcro stripping that I bought, it's like $22. So than $25, you can mouse-proof your camper. If you want to go full-on defense for less than like 45 bucks, you can mouse-proof your camper completely. Because a few years ago, I got a hitchhiker in Minnesota. It took me a month to get to Idaho. And then it took me another month to realize I had an unwanted roommate. And then it took me a couple weeks to game plan on how I was going to get rid of this guy. And that involved full-on war one night where I got a sheet, a wakeboard, a cutting board, my skis, a fan, a water bottle, and 15 mouse traps. And I made like this exotic mousetrap funnel. So when he came out of hiding in the underbelly of my camper, I cut off his exit point and then pushed him towards the 15 mousetraps. And this little guy and his little acrobatics and athleticism impressively somehow made it through a minefield of 15 mousetraps without dying, and then turned around and charged me. And I had already set up weapons around the entire camper, all within arm's reach, from like spatulas to backcountry shovels to hatchets and knives and boards and bear spray and lighters and anything you could grab to try and kill a mouse, right? Fly swatters, whatever, right? And when he turned and charged me, the first thing that was closest to me was bear spray, so I just turned it on him and sprayed him straight to the face, instantly killing him, and then making me and my beagle suffer for like the rest of the night. So if you want to read about the play-by-play on that war, I'll leave a link to the blog right up on that. But today I just want to show you how easy it is to mouse-proof your camper, because ever since then, I figured out a way to mouse-proof my camper, because I never wanted to find dog food in the sleeves of my ski jackets or the cuffs of my pants or in between the towels in my bathroom. Like I didn't want to, I had mouse poop everywhere. Like it was in the cupboards, it was in the drawers, it was on my pots and pans. Like I didn't even want to wash that stuff. I threw all of that stuff away and bought brand new stuff because I didn't even trust myself to clean it well enough. And I never wanted to be in that position again. So to mouse proof your camper, it is super, super easy. And really it doesn't even come down to mouse traps. It comes down to preventing access. But today I want to show you the right mousetrap, the wrong mousetrap, how to deny access, how to completely eliminate them from even getting into your camper, and it's very, very easy. And I'll even show you how to do that real quickly by turning. So here is the gear that I'm talking about. So this right here is the wrong mousetrap, which, you can see it in every hardware store, every Walmart, every big box store. It's a Victor mousetrap. There's like 2 of them for $1. I found this in my brother's RV when I was helping him set up for, winterize his camper. He said he set it there for about 2 months ago, and as you can see, it's still set. And the gunk from the peanut butter and the mold made it so this mouse trap isn't as sensitive anymore, and the mouse was able to steal the bait and get away. So that's the wrong mouse trap. This guy right here is the right mouse trap, and as you can see why, if you turn it around, you can see where the spring or where this little arm catches the plastic there, the bait is on the other side. So no matter how moldy or gunky this gets, it'll never affect the sensitivity of that little bar right there, right? Where this one, the gunk and the mold can, hinder the tripping point right there. So it can stop it from being so sensitive. And to clean this, if you chose to do something like that, you would need to do, grab a toothbrush or a Q-tip and, really wash this out so it was reusable. This guy right here, you could just soak it in the sink or a pot or something like that. Scrub it down with 409 all-purpose cleaner or Dawn Dish soap, or, it was easy. But you'll never have to, because the sticking point is on the back and the bait is on the front, and those two never cross each other, right? They never come in contact with each other. So this should never fail. Where this one, the bait does come in contact with the tripping point, so it gives it the opportunity to fail, which makes it the wrong trap, right? And these are the same price. So there's no extra cost in getting these ones with the yellow pads versus these ones with the copper pads. So if I were you, I would get the one with the yellow pads, because they will never fail. They're easy, they're maintenance free, where these ones require maintenance to keep them reusable. So that's the only difference between these two. And it's very subtle, it's very simple. But that's what makes these ones the right ones and this one the wrong one. Another thing, very, very popular, and I use these too, or I used to, not anymore, is these guys. Glue traps. These are very, very, very effective as long as it is not wintertime. And as long as you heat your camper. If it is wintertime and you do not heat your camper, all these are hard pieces of plastic then. They're not sticky anymore. Once they get cold, they turn into hard plastic form. So as long as you're living in your RV or it's in a heated storage or you are heating it while you're not using it, these are still effective. But if you are winterizing your camper and then you just park it in the backyard and never heat it while you live in, cold states like Minnesota or Maine, Wisconsin, Montana, whatever, all the northern states, right? If all you're doing is parking it in the backyard and not heating it, these just turn into hard pieces of plastic and they're not sticky anymore, so they're completely useless. And they're useless if you don't bait them. You can't just stick them out there. I mean, if you just stick them out there, then you're creating chance of opportunity, which is very, very slim for a mouse to come across it. So if you do put these out there, at least put, some peanut butter on there or a peanut or jelly beans or some type of bait on there to make a mouse want to walk on them. Otherwise, they're completely ineffective. But if your camper's heated and it's in heated storage or something like that, they're completely effective. They're easy. And the mouse gets on it, can't get off of it. Easy to throw away. They're one-time use. You can't reuse them. And I do recommend them if you want to go this route. But the number one way to mouse-proof your house is this guy right here, spray foam, and steel scrub brushes that you can buy from the dollar store for $1, not like the fake dollar store where they might charge you $3 for this. For $1, they're super easy. And to effectively use them, all you do is find the access points into your camper. So for my brothers here, it's the hot water heater. And all we did here, as you can see, is spray foam underneath the hot water heater. You can't really get to this front right corner. You can't really see it, right? So just in case I missed a spot, I set down 3 mouse traps in there for the only access point around. And so if they decide to come down this highway, they've got to make it through that little gauntlet. But as you can see, you just spray around the piping. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, here's the piping. Like, it's not very hard to figure out how mice travel around your RV. See, this piping goes through the walls here. I mean, the RV dealers or manufacturers could have easily made this closed off so that mice can't travel from room to room, but they didn't. It would have taken them probably 3 seconds to do this or configure something, but they didn't, so now it's up to you to do it. And if you don't want to spray foam, you can use these little scrubby pads right here to stop their traffic flow from room to room by the pipe systems. And I'll show you how we did that in my brother's. It's super, super easy. Like, this is where the water comes in from the tank. That's a steel scrub brush from the dollar store for $1. And all we did was, squish it down in that hole. And mice can't chew through it. They can't maneuver it. They can't eat it. I mean, it instantly stopped mice from coming in this little storage compartment of my brother's. That's where I found this mouse trap. He said he set up 2 months ago. And we found all kind of mouse evidence in there. And since we set that up, there hasn't been mice in there at all. So that was a super easy, effective way to keep them from even getting in there. And spray foam is only like $5, $6, $7, $8 a can. I mean, what was it on here? It looks like $10.98. So this was $11. Some places are $7. Some places apparently are $11. It depends on how small of the town is that you live in, I guess. But if you live in a big town, this is like $5, $6, $7. It's not very expensive at all. And you can take it a step further. I do this on my camper in the winter to make sure mice do not even make it to my camper. This little guy right here is a PVC T for plumbers. They use it to, hook water to houses or whatever they do with their plumbing needs for this. It's like $4 or $5. It's not very expensive. And then all I do, you can buy rat poison, which is this green thing right here, all by itself or in a big bag. It's like $3. It's like $1 or $2 for one of these little guys. And then you just put it in there, right? And just set it on the ground. Mice can get in this hole, or this hole, They can go wherever however they want to access it. That's your little mouse trap. They go in there and eat it, and then they go away and die. I do not put those in my camper because I don't want a mouse to eat rat poison in my camper and then go die in the walls. I do put it outside underneath my camper, and hopefully they die outside and don't find a way to get in my camper and die after they ate that, which is also why I close off all these points. And I have a dog, though. So if you have a dog like me and want to make sure he's not a superhero nose like my beagle is, and want to make sure that he's not eating this, you can make this a little bit longer. You can go buy a 10-foot section of piping. This is the wrong piping. It's just what I had for this video. This is 1-inch piping, and this is 1.5-inch tubing. So you can see there, it doesn't really fit, but you can get the concept of what I'm about to do here. You can just extend it out a little bit, and now the dog can't even get to that poison. The only thing that can get to that is small rodents like mice, right? Like, that's super easy. Or you can do something even simpler like this. This is, I had this lying around too. This is 1-inch piping with an elbow on it. So you can get like 10-foot piping. You can cut it with a steak knife. You don't need anything fancy, right? And this purple stuff, you don't even need that for this type of application. But you can just put the rat poison there in the elbow, and then you have this little elbow that a dog can't get to, and then the poison is there in the corner, and the only thing that's going to get to that is a little animal. So I mean, you can make all kind of things like this with PVC piping, super cheap. You don't even need an elbow. You can just use this little tube right here and put the rat poison in the middle, and the dog can't get to it, right? Like, I mean, whatever you want, whatever your brain can come up with, and put the poison in the middle, like, that's a rat trap or a mouse trap to make sure that mice never get in your camper. And ever since I've been doing this, or ever since I did that 3 or 4 years ago, I have never had a mouse in my camper. I've never had mouse poop in my drawers. I've never had dog food, in places where it's not supposed to be. I haven't found crumpled up, chewed up pieces of paper stored off in the corner of my cabinets or anything like that. I have never had any signs of critters in my camper ever since I've done this. And it only costs $25 to do just the normal stuff, and if you want to do the exterior defense with the mouse poison and the PVC piping, you're probably talking $45-50. And it doesn't take rocket science or anything to do this. As you can see, it is super simple to put all of this together. And spray foaming, I would recommend get a pair of gloves, because the stuff does get sticky, or at least make sure that you have enough room to work, or you're wearing clothes that you don't care that get wrecked. Hope that helps. I'll leave a link in the description to the blog post I wrote about my war with that little critter, and I'll leave links to Amazon or wherever so that you can buy this stuff if you would like to have it shipped to you. It's very, very easy to find the stuff that I've got, but if you need a link to the stuff I got, I will share it in the description so you can buy it that way and make it super easy for you. If you got any comments or questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do to answer you.